Hello everyone, I'm Santiago and today I'm going to be testing the F.E.A.R franchise on the Steam Deck. So as you can see, the three games are all playable according to the Steam Deck badges. This one has a very small UI, this one I haven't tried it yet. F.E.A.R 3, I haven't played this in a long time, so I think it will be interesting to check those out. Let's start with F.E.A.R 1. And yeah, we'll see what happens. Welcome to F.E.A.R 1. This is, well, the first game in the franchise. Let's pause the game, go to options, display, make sure it's 1280 by 800. Then HUD text scaling, small or large. In my case, I keep it on large because it's a smaller screen. Then on performance, advanced computer options, maximum physics, maximum sound, maximum effects, press OK after that, and advanced video card options. Basically everything is on the highest setting. On the graphics we're using 4x FSAA, full screen anti-aliasing basically, and this on 4x because otherwise the game has lots of jaggies. It's a very old game, doesn't have TAA, and that's basically it. I'm using a mouse and keyboard in this case because I'm connected to a monitor, but if you're using the Steam Deck controls, it has gyro controls right away by default. And it's fully mapped correctly. If we press the Steam button, we go to controller settings. A person called Navs made a layout. And this layout actually works pretty well. Because there is, well, it's basically mapped to your keyboard and mouse keys. And if you're touching on the right pad, you can actually use gyro to aim. Personally, not a big fan of gyro in this title. But if you're playing on the smaller screen, it can make a huge difference. Why did he break the window? So yeah, I'm not good at aiming with a stick. I will lower the sensitivity a little bit. But again, since I'm on a monitor, I'm going to be using the mouse and keyboard, and I'm pretty impressed with the physics and the visuals here on display. I haven't realized how old this game is, and it uses almost no resources. I'm guessing we'll be getting like 3-4 hours of battery. Alright, I'm on the next level. I have a submachine gun now. Still looking pretty good. Okay, somebody's dead over there. May jump out. Alright, let's rejoin them. Okay, they're shooting already. By the way, the UI is still pretty small, despite the larger text option. So I'm not sure, I mean, considering the smaller screen that the Steam Deck has, the UI is pretty tiny. So that's not good. I would say that and the controls is the biggest disadvantage of playing this on deck. But hey, it works. And it runs at a solid 60, which was to be expected, let's be honest here. Alright, so now we have some action. Man, the slow motion, best part. Yeah, it still looks so awesome. Oh, hi there. I was speaking about good AI and they do this now. They're making me look bad. By the way, you can toggle the slow motion at any time. There is a bar at the bottom of the screen, which is basically your reflexes gauge. Although I had to assign a button for reflexes. Which wasn't assigned by default, so keep that in mind. But it works pretty well. Long battery life. There is very tiny drops into the 60s when there's a lot of slow motion particle stuff, but it's very minor or pretty rare. And I'll do it here on purpose. Actually, I cannot even do it on purpose. Yeah. So yeah, still great game. I'm pretty impressed with what I'm seeing on visuals also. And let's jump into F.E.A.R 2 now. F.E.A.R 2, this is also another one where you should change the controller settings. This one is Pick Up and Play Revisited from Meatloaf Jack. And basically, again, mapping for keyboard and mouse on the Steam Deck. So when you're aiming down sights, it will actually turn on the gyro controls. So 800p, make sure you're not inside of the game itself. You're actually in the main menu, and you can only change the advanced settings in here. So 800p, advanced settings, basically highest settings with 4 times FSAA, which is full screen anti-aliasing like the previous game. And something very important, widescreen, make sure it's disabled. Enabling this basically forces 16:9, and our screen is 16:10. So it would have black bars on the top and bottom of the screen like it is right now, but actually inside the game it uses the entire screen, which is wonderful. So I'll go back and I'll continue from my save point. And again, remember, the controller is mapped to the mouse and keyboard controls. I'll probably lower the sensitivity of the mouse in the options menu, just because the right stick feels way too sensitive. I can do a 360 in 1 nanosecond. But this one actually looks pretty good, considering its age, like I said on the previous one. Although I don't remember the reception for F.E.A.R 2, I just remember that F.E.A.R 3 wasn't well received, but I had a lot of fun with the third one. This one, I actually never played it, only for the channel once, a few years ago, when I tested the franchise on a PC. So it's interesting to see what F.E.A.R 2 looks like, actually. Although it has forced film grain, I'm noticing when looking at the sky. That's probably on purpose. But it bothers me that there is no actual gamepad support, that we have to add it ourselves. But that's okay. By itself, it works pretty well. Just make sure to lower that mouse sensitivity in the options menu, and you should be good to go. But the game is basically 60s across the board, even when using slow motion. Alright, we're back. You can also aim down sights if you so desire. And I love that there's destruction around. That's pretty cool, actually. There we go. I still do not have slow motion because it's the very beginning. I'm not seeing self-shadowing in this area. I don't think it's as timeless looking as F.E.A.R 1, although on F.E.A.R 1 you can see the edges of the models, so... But yeah. But so far it's enjoyable. Although nothing like the previous game so far. Feels more like an action game right now. Actually, this game and F.E.A.R 1, and also F.E.A.R 3, are pretty cheap on key sites and even on Steam when there are sales going on. So it should be easy for you to get them if you're interested. I think the first one is a must play, at least in my opinion. The second one, I mean, feels more like an action game from back then, which is okay. Just some jump scares here and there, as you can see. But performance is great. You can play portably. You can go into a dark room in the middle of the woods, turn off the lights, put your headphones, and boom, you are being scared. Let's jump into F.E.A.R 3. And finally, F.E.A.R 3, the latest one in the franchise. I'm on the highest settings, 2 times anti-aliasing, to have some extra details. Unfortunately, I didn't find a way to disable motion blur. seems to be enabled by default, which sucks. But hey, there is full controller support. Unfortunately, I haven't seen controller prompts on this game. It's all keyboard and mouse prompts. So better than nothing, but still. That shouldn't be a thing. So yeah, we should be with the gamepad prompts. But what can you do? And performance is basically 60s without a problem. And this is more like an arcade shooter for me. You can play co-op with a friend, you can play on your own, up to you. But just the fact that it has co-op kinda kills the fear thing that this game should be going for. It doesn't feel like a fear game, let's leave it at that. But it's a fun game, don't get me wrong. I think the shooting is improved significantly over the previous games. But, I mean, if they didn't get the shooting right, I mean, it would be more of a disaster. But I do like what they are saying when they are getting shot at. Pretty funny stuff. Oh, more ammo, of course. So yeah, F.E.A.R 3, after playing the other two for a bit, it's not super interesting. It feels generic. Just an action shooter with cover and slow motion. I don't know, the other ones try to do something different. This one is just feels like a game from its era. Basically, just a shooter. Call of Duty is very popular. But we also have slow motion, that it's a F.E.A.R franchise thing. But this one has the gamepad support, which is highly appreciated. I wish we at least had the prompts on screen, but you can see the controls in the options menu if you need to, at least. So yeah, you can also, again, play this with a friend, which is wonderful, I think. Just kills the F.E.A.R thing from it, in my opinion. But it controls well, and the shooting is pretty fun. I wonder when the shooting is going to get boring, probably pretty soon. But anyway, that's the F.E.A.R franchise on Steam Deck. Hopefully one day we get a revival of the original. That would be awesome, with today's graphics and mechanics. It would be a very interesting release, at least in my opinion. Even if they do just a remaster or something, I think a remake would be great for the first game in the franchise. If they put better shooting mixed with the slow motion plus the jump scares plus all that, I think it would be a great game. Especially nowadays that we have a lot more advanced technology. So yeah, I'm a little bit sad when I play the first game, thinking what it could have been if they kept it up like that. But after those games, Monolith basically started making Shadow of Mordor, Shadow of War. So they went on for better things, I would say. So yeah, that's basically the 3 F.E.A.R games on Steam Deck. I hope you enjoyed them as much as I did revisiting F.E.A.R. Honestly, I'm surprised on how well the first one holds up. Yeah, visually it looks pretty dated. I mean, obviously, it's a game from a while back. But I think it still holds up pretty well. F.E.A.R 3, on the other hand, it doesn't grow on me. Let's just leave it at that. F.E.A.R 3 feels... yeah, it doesn't feel great. I don't know. Maybe it's just me, it feels too generic so far. So let me know what you think in the comments below. If you're interested in a remake of the first game, also let me know. I'll be interested in gauging how much people are interested in the game, basically, in the first one. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see ya next time. Bye guys. Thank you for watching.